He is guilty. The CEO of the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, CZ of Binance, pleads guilty to things like money laundering or to things like breaching the Bank Secrecy Act. Twitter is a treasure trove of information around this, but here's the TLDR. CZ himself has been fined 50 million. He won't have any involvement in Binance for 3 years. He's appointing an independent compliance monitor for 3 years. And Binance itself, and that's the big thing, has to pay 1.8 plus $2.5 billion in fines. Now that's the big bombshell over here, right? 4.3 billion in fines. Can Binance survive this? Do we have to take our funds off the exchange? Well, here's the beauty of the blockchain, right? We know what wallets are owned by Binance and we know what kind of reserves Binance has. This is Dune Analytics. Binance has 10.7 billion in stablecoins, 57 billion in total assets, which could shrink very fast once selling happens. And yes, there are people that are getting cautious. We saw outflows of 2.4 billion. So here are part of the stablecoin holdings. A lot of the holdings are Bitcoin, some are Ethereum, and of course a bit is also in the native token BNB. We are going to talk about BNB, the impact on BNB, right at the end of this video. How dangerous is this for Binance? I think it's not too problematic, otherwise CZ wouldn't have agreed to this. He probably did agree to this because he didn't want to end up like Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX, right? Locked up forever in jail. You rather get a bit of a setback, you rather pay a hefty fine, but if everything can continue afterwards and you're a free man, then things are okay. Will customer deposits be one-to-one backed after this payment? Who knows, but it probably doesn't move the needle too much compared to the situation we had before. Simply because those penalties are even less than 10% of all of Binance's holdings. And they do generate a lot of fees. The new CEO is Richard Teng, and he calls the foundation of Binance standing stronger than ever. Now, financially, that's maybe not the case, but there's definitely a strong regulatory risk that's now pretty much off the table. Everybody that's using Binance or the Binance Smart Chain had to take this risk into account, that the whole thing might get shut down. I think that's now less likely. Operations are likely going to continue, at least outside of the US. People are speculating what's the background, what's the hidden intention, the hidden agenda behind all of this. And yes, this could simply be a plot to get traditional finance to overtake all of crypto. As for the development of the Binance Smart Chain and of BNB, not much has really changed. We already saw quite some negative momentum and somewhat of a stagnation in the recent past. And that's not just in the capital that's being locked. That's also in the number of transactions, in the total gas being used, in the DEX trading volume, etc. The relative performance of BNB to Bitcoin had been quite poor for a while. Even though the tokenomics for BNB are strong, there's a burn mechanism that reduces the circulating supply over time even more than for Ethereum. But the regulatory risk was always the Damocles sword, pushing BNB down relative to BTC. From the top in November of 2022 to today, an underperformance versus Bitcoin of 67%. Now there is some potential light at the end of the tunnel. Even though the fine is not pretty, it does bring some clarity around the situation. It's very likely we don't see FTX 2.0 with Binance. So it very much might be that we are now at a low point for the BNB token. This, by the way, is BNB relative to Ethereum. It had been in a sideways trading range for quite a while, since February of 2021. And we're getting to that low support, very close to that support again, with a potential upside versus Ethereum of 123% from here. And the nice thing about a potential trade like this is that we can set a stop loss very easily. If BNB was to fall against Ethereum by 7 or 8%, we could easily exit. But if it doesn't, if we simply see a support here, then the risk versus potential reward is very, very favorable. Feel free to subscribe in case you haven't yet. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a Telegram. Link is down below.